Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the
Hi.
Samchoon podcast. My name is Arlo. I use they, she, he. And this week's question, I guess, would be, what is your favorite fall food item? I love apple cider donuts with a hot cup of cider.
Ooh.
That's amazing.
Need to go apple picking.
Yeah.
My name is Yumi. Park. My last name is Park. Hi, my name is Yumi. My pronouns are they, them, and my favorite fall food is probably stuffing. I love stuffing. It can be prepackaged. It can be like real breadcrumbs. I don't care. As long as it is a stuffing, I will eat it. A dressing, if you will. That's just like with some gravy. Ugh. Chef's kiss.
Brown gravy, too.
Ooh, yes, exactly. I could eat just that as my kind of fall meal, holiday meal.
That sounds
sure.
good. Oh my god. Okay.
I might go buy a box.
I'm Suin. My pronouns are she, they. And I do love apple cider donuts, and a crisp, cold apple cider do sound like really top notch. But I make a banana infused pumpkin pie every year, like multiple times during the fall.
It's pretty good.
I recently just made little mini individual ones for my coworkers.
Oh my God.
And I don't have the patience to make a crust currently, so I do purchase my crusts.
But
It's the filling
my
that matters.
my family requires me to make this pie
Multiple pies.
every year.
No, not just
Yeah.
a single pie.
Yeah,
Multiple
they
pies.
have to have more than one.
Your mom was
so I
obsessed.
make it all
Try
the time.
this. I love a banana.
Yeah, they won't accept a regular pumpkin
No.
pie anymore.
Yeah.
No.
It has to be this pie or bust. So that's
It's
my
good.
fall. My fall. item. I like that they're all like. I feel like everyone usually flocks to desserts in the fall. But I like the stuffing.
Baked
Yeah, the
goods
stuffing
in the
is
fall
good.
are like perfect. Any kind of baked goods and then a vanilla ice cream scoop.
Ooh, a la mode.
I know.
Good choice.
Oh, good. A freshly whipped cream.
Ooh,
That
made
sounds
me
good.
hungry.
We love food on
Mm.
this podcast.
Yeah, we do.
We will do a whole episode on
Oh,
food.
we should.
Ugh.
We definitely should.
Oh, yeah.
This week's episode is going to be our childhood gay awakenings.
Oh my God.
Where do we
I
even
know,
begin?
I know that there's like a bunch for us to do because,
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't have a crush on a Disney princess? Like, who didn't have a crush on like a cartoon character? Like, you know, and then like movies and like Tumblr, like all this stuff. Like, it was.
Where do we begin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like because
or
also like when we were
types.
growing up, it was like it wasn't really available to us like it is now. Like
Yeah.
they queer like movies, TV shows, like cartoons, like none of it existed. But we had the L word growing up, like, and that was like middle school. Like, you know, like we didn't have, and then that was on Showtime. So like, if you didn't have Showtime, like you couldn't watch it, and then also. Not really appropriate to watch when you're in middle school.
You can't be like in middle school and be like, Mom, Dad, I want Showtime.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, what is that? We
Why
have
do you need
TV.
Showtime.
But yeah, I think that you can't ask for Showtime. Like,
No.
your parents are like, we already have TV. Well, why would we spend more money on
No.
more TV?
No.
You need.
I
to be
was lucky
studying.
to have Disney.
Oh,
And that was
Disney
an accident.
yeah.
I don't think my parents planned that. That was just like the cable combination that they got.
Yeah, I didn't have Nickelodeon. I had Nickelodeon, and then I didn't have Nickelodeon.
Oh.
Let's go around your Disney princess crush.
Okay.
Okay, I have mine, and
I know mine
think-
too.
I don't
so when you have yours,
think I have one.
Okay, well, you think about it.
Let me think about it. You guys go
Yeah.
first.
okay.
I think I mentioned mine during maybe our coming out episode, but when I was 3 or whatever, and Pocahontas had just come out, and we were all obsessed with that freaking movie, I was always like pretending like Pocahontas is my girlfriend. I'm John Smith. I thought she was so pretty, and I was just like, every time I think back to my life, I'm just like, that's when I knew I was gay. I might not have known it was the word, but I was like, I like this woman. She's so pretty. She's,
Yeah.
so cool. Like, I just want to hold her hand.
She has a beautiful voice, a pet raccoon.
Beautiful voice, long flowing brunette hair, tan skin. I was just like, I must be gay. I'm like, every time I think about it, I'm like, I was gay as fuck at 3 years old. And then, yeah, all the other Disney princesses obviously were very pretty, but Pocahontas definitely stands out as the one.
Pocahontas is like at the top of my list, but my favorite growing up was Jasmine.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, I wanted to be Aladdin so bad.
Oh shit.
And then and then I would see like Jasmine because like I wanted to be like with Jasmine. I'm like, oh, what a babe, you know? Like you're like pet tiger.
Yeah.
She has a pet tiger. I get to have a pet monkey.
Also, that is
like,
so reflective of your type. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Like, that is to
Pocahontas
the
probably.
T. Your type.
It's so funny because, like, I think Arlo and I also share similarities in physical types, probably.
yeah.
I don't have as much dating experience, but I will say my crushes have steered closer to the similar Jasmine, Pocahontas type, which I think just is, like, also indicative of, like, where I grew up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the kind of people I was surrounded by more of.
Yeah.
But Jasmine's a close second for me now.
Wow.
I'm like, you just unlocked it. I'm like, you're right. She was so
Yeah.
cute.
And then if
And
I'm
I did love a
Aladdin,
tiger.
I get like genie, magic carpet. You know, like it's like a win-win-win. Like
You're
there
like,
is-
God, like, I could really see myself in this situation.
Yeah, it's like let's go.
What's with Disney animation and us also exploring our ideals of, like, my future includes me being a prince.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to that prince level. You know.
Well, so what I will say is I don't think I remember particularly having like a crush or like because like I said when I came out I never thought about it.
Yeah.
But I will say that I was like my family says this still that I was a huge Toy Story fan. I watched that VHS until it broke. Like I would watch it and then I'd put it in the rewind and I'd put it back in the TV, the VHS tape of Toy Story, and I wanted to be Buzz.
That makes so much sense.
Desperately wanted to be Buzz. So I feel
that's
like
pretty
I don't have a crush, but how gay is that? Like I was like, I want to be Buzz Lightyear, and I want to be a space pilot, and I want the like the little laser on his arm, and I want the wings, and I want to fly.
It's the meme too.
Yeah. So I feel like I wanted to be Buzz. Buzz was my favorite character. Like
That makes
people are always
so
like,
much
I
sense.
want to be Woody, or like what? I don't
Again,
want to be no
wanted to
cowboy.
be Woody. I wanted to be Woody because he had Bo Peep.
I don't want no snake in my
I
boot.
wanted to be Buzz.
Yeah, I want to be Buzz.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, like
be Buzz.
in college, I
Into the
may or may not.
stereotypical mask.
But it's like also like you've got like short military undercut, like masculine, like you know, like
gay.
yeah, so
Like that, like
gay.
typical like triangle body. Like,
right,
butch
big old
gays.
head, yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So I think that was my like Disney like cartoon like thing.
I think like I mean, so like for like cartoons, like continuing in like childhood, because like I feel like I always wanted to be like the boy characters, like the men in like TV shows, movies, and stuff like that. So I always had like crushes. Like I guess like that's a huge indicator that I'm gay. But like growing up, I also really loved Rocket Power.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
Reggie, was that her
Yes,
name? Was
Reggie
like
Rocket.
a mask. She was like a tomboy, but she was like, I'm a girl and there's girl
Yeah.
power, but also like I'm still
nonchalant.
hanging and I'm better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
agree
then
with that.
another popular cartoon that resonates, I feel like, with like gay culture, Ashley Spinelli from Recess. Right?
Right.
Yeah, it's just like embodying
God.
like the nonchalant rebel attitude.
Yeah.
But like you know, it's just like is
That is so. I haven't thought about that character in so long.
Yeah.
That's so hilarious.
Well,
And
I think it's
then-
all so the confidence that she exuded
Yeah.
as a character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also like her like style, very like in a way like Brooklyn lesbian. Maybe
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the
A little
change
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the leather jacket, and the
Mhm.
dogs.
yeah, maybe like black jeans instead, but like, the striped socks for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And then
I haven't thought about
another,
that
I
character
feel
in
like
so
another
long.
cartoon that's like pretty popular. Miss Fizzle for the Magic School Bus.
Not that we're masks, but we like all wanted her to be our teacher.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
It like you just wanted her to be.
We wanted
You
to
wanted
date
to be
her.
on the school bus. Yeah, yeah. You're
I
gonna
don't know,
want to date
wanted
her.
to date her.
But you wanted to be on the school bus. You wanted to be have that like strong connection with her, and like low key putting it back into like the I guess like segue into teachers.
I think they're
Miss
like
Honey?
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Honey is a gay icon.
And-
I would
and-
say I would have wanted to date Miss Honey, but
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Miss Fizzle was like, I just wanted her to be my teacher because I knew that like if I could like if I was at the age to like come out to her, she would have been a good person to come
True.
out to.
For sure.
She is someone's type, though.
Oh,
Oh,
for sure.
100%.
I will say too, though, there's like I know that some of the first like crushes I had were teachers
Yes.
when I was younger, but I just thought they were like pretty and like I was like they're my teacher
nice.
and they're so nice to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh no, like I like just straight up had a crush on my teacher. Like she was just like a young 20, probably like a young 24-year-old woman who like was just like teaching little kids and minding her own business. And I was like, she's so nice and
I'll have to say-
considerate. It's like her job.
Yeah.
It's like when the
There
bartender,
was
you think the
one-
bartender's flirting with you.
Yeah.
No, it's just her job.
She's just taking care of you like she's supposed to.
It's what she gets paid to do.
Yeah.
It's actually what you pay her to do.
I feel
Quite
like I had really pretty teachers like at my private school, but they were all older and like mom
okay.
age. So like at some point I was like, I just think they're nice. You know, I really gravitated towards like really nice teachers. They're just so kind. The only teacher that I had that was age appropriate, like a younger teacher, not a mom kind of vibe, she was my 8th grade English teacher. And she was like in her mid-20s. And so like I was like, I probably had a crush on her.
I remember being like I think it was like my 3rd grade teacher. She was so pretty, and I remember thinking like, she's the greatest teacher I've ever had. And she was just like really pretty, and she was married to an Asian man. So her I'm not gonna say her last name, but she had an Asian last name, but she was a white woman. She was Caucasian. She was tall. She had like I can't remember if she had short hair or not, but she was like beautiful. And I just remember thinking like, she's so nice. She's like the best teacher I've ever had. She's so considerate. And then meanwhile, it's just like she was just like a woman in her 20s being a teacher. But like, and like I didn't know I had a crush, but I was just like, she's so pretty.
Also, so rare nowadays to see like a Asian couple be like Asian man, white woman.
Yeah.
You know, those I feel like are so much rarer. And like, not that you realize this when you were that age, but like now as an adult, I recognize that like there's something so cool because it's so rare for an Asian masculine person to be
Yeah.
attractive by a white woman who, like, in our society that we live in and grew up in, like, a white woman was kind of like the epitome of like who you want to find you attractive. That like is kind of like that young like yeah, if a white woman finds you attractive, like you must be hot or you must be attractive. So that's also really interesting.
Yeah. I think, like, in real life, in high school, I think she taught sociology.
Ooh,
But,
good topic.
yeah.
Love that
Yeah,
subject.
definitely had a crush on that teacher. But, I mean, it was just, like, you know, young. like
Yeah,
talk to you like you're, like, a
I definitely
normal
didn't
person.
notice when I was younger, but they're just like, and the same thing with friends. You're just like, I really like this friend is my best friend, or you're like,
no,
I just
I
like
totally-
really am good friends with this person, and you're like, oh no, like that was just a crush.
Oh, 100%. I think
Or those like intense friendships.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely had
Yeah.
one of those
yeah.
in towards the later years of high school, and now I'm like, dang, no wonder her boyfriend did not like me. You hear about other people having like these intense relationships with their best friends, and they were never like really like gay with each other. Like they never like admitted that they were like any kind of queer like feelings. It was just like you were really close to this one person. You spent all this time with them, and like I personally never really had like physical attraction to this person, but we are very very close. And then when she got a boyfriend, she was just like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm gonna just hang out with him now for the rest of our senior year. And I was just like, okay. I think that's my trauma. People getting into relationships and then making it their like personality to like be in a relationship and then like completely
Yeah.
forget about their friends. Now.
When
I'm
you're
like,
young and you're overcompensating for things,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
it can be really hard.
Yeah.
And
But anyways, back to where we're so what I will say too though is like as far as like that, because in their younger years it's like where Tumblr kind of comes in though,
Yeah.
because when you're like still figuring stuff out, we were lucky enough to have Tumblr. Like it, and I can't even imagine what it was like for like maybe a generation before us that didn't have Tumblr.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like Tumblr was it. Like I remember after like kind of like I came out and I was doing college stuff. That was when, and I guess I'll drop like another YouTuber person who's on social media, Cammie Scott
Yeah.
and Shannon.
Yeah.
Their relationship was like put on like Tumblr, I guess, or something
yeah,
like
big
that. They were
time.
Tumblr
Big
famous.
Yeah. That phrase is so
I-
crazy now.
I messaged Cammie about
really?
she was from Pittsburgh
Yeah.
and I went to school in Pittsburgh and I messaged her about it because we went to the same college.
Oh, cool.
And I asked her, I said, got into the school and you went there. Is it queer friendly? And she had the nicest things to say about it. And honestly, her response, she probably would never remember this in a million years because it was on Tumblr. But it's one of the reasons why I went to college in Pittsburgh was because Cammie Scott literally replied back to me and said really nice things about Pittsburgh.
Awesome.
And that's why I ended up going over there. But that happened on Tumblr. I messaged her on Tumblr and was like, gay kid who was just, is it safe? Like, should I go here?
Is it worth me moving to
And-
another state or school?
And she didn't say anything particularly crazy. She was just like, you know, there are a lot of good queer clubs and
Yeah.
avenues that if you're queer, you can feel safe. She was like, never had a problem here.
Yeah.
The school is very open, like, never had a problem. And she was
Yeah.
like, I really enjoyed my time there. It wasn't very queer, but it was good. Like, it was a good experience. And that was just enough of a safety net for me to be like, okay, I'm not looking to go to a school just to be gay. So that was helpful to be, well, I'll be safe there and I'll be able
Yeah.
to find my place. But like, I think that
safety is so important.
yeah. And I confirmed that with someone who was like Tumblr famous. Like I thought it was when she
That's so nice.
when I messaged her, I was like, there's no way I'll get a reply back.
Yeah.
And then when I did, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
They
crazy.
get so inundated with it. That's so. It's you know what's really crazy is this is indicative of how small a world it is. So I think Cammie knows the musician Kevin Garrett because they went to the same school before college. I think they're from like a similar hometown or whatever. But Kevin Garrett during the pandemic was living with Sophia Bush before she got married to a man. And so there were questions about whether or not they were dating for a little bit. And so I just found that so random because I know Sophia Bush is obviously famously with Ashlyn Harris.
Wow.
It's a crazy
Small world.
the whole like internet sphere is wild. But I think back onto my like use of Tumblr, and it like genuinely helped and changed like how I made decisions. Like Tumblr was such a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure like other young queer people feel the same in our age group. Probably, I guess we're not like categorized as young anymore, but like but that was like the safe space. Tumblr was like you couldn't be anywhere. There was nowhere else, so Tumblr was like
That was it.
It was so interesting too because at that time that was kind of like the main place people could be out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with still some semblance of like anonymity, so that like if someone were to find your Tumblr, depending on like the username and whatever stuff you posted to it, like you could just be gay. You could like write queer things or share queer things or whatever. But if someone were to find it, it'd be so easily shut down. Like you could quickly delete things or like
right, and you could also like
deniability.
completely like you knew no one else was gonna find it. Like it was so
It was a safe space.
rare. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
For
safe
people to
space.
know.
Yeah.
And you could
It
write
was-
whatever you wanted. You could put your thoughts. You could comment. You could look at other people's pages. You could just follow people's pages.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that whole version of the internet is like, I would imagine is what lesbian bars used to feel like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Except we were like on the internet. Finding each other.
Yeah. Writing code like
Yeah.
on our page like a MySpace, but like for queer people.
Well, I mean, Tumblr too at some point became like MySpace, where people were like, "Oh, let me see if I could make my theme just like a little bit cooler."
Yeah.
That was
or
definitely
like the hashtags and stuff.
I feel like for me, I was like trying to figure out how to like expand my networking. Like I didn't know how to find other people, and Tumblr was
Yeah.
like my way of.
So it's like
Tumblr
whatever
also helped with
comes-
my fashion too. That I was
100%.
wearing
For
because
sure.
that was the first time I was seeing real life queer people dress the way that I wanted to dress, and it wasn't good. Like it wasn't.
I mean,
It wasn't
the early
good
2000s,
fashion.
I feel like.
Yeah, Tumblr fashion was still very much indie, skinny jeans,
Yeah.
and things, kind of
Backwards
stuff for our age
hats,
group.
you know.
Yeah.
Long hair, like just
The man buns were really popular for the boys out there. I will say also though, like similar to like your idea of like networking, I met some of my closest friends, like some of my good friends in college through Tumblr.
Oh, whoa,
'cause
cool.
One of my friends, she's married now, has a baby with her wife. She was kind of Tumblr famous too, and she was still in high school when I found her account. She was like a year younger than me, and she ended up going to UT. And so I literally one day after following her for a while, I was like, "Hey, I know the school you just started and you're at UT. Like, do you want to go to Kirby Lane and like get like hot chocolate?" That was the first time we ever met in person, and we stayed friends all through her 4 years of college, and obviously past that. And like, it was so cool to be like, "Oh, I found you on this website," and you being, because she wasn't out to her family at that time, and like she had been dating another Tumblr famous person or two through Tumblr, and so for me to be able to say like, "Oh, met this now friend through this website that I would have never really know that she was queer before she had gone to campus, if it wasn't for
Tumblr.
this
Tumblr. Yeah,
freaking website."
I feel like
Yeah.
and what's really cool too is I feel like I got to see, because I was seeing only other queer people my age group,
Yeah.
I felt like I was seeing so much information or how other people were feeling that was really
Yeah.
validating,
Yeah.
because half of Tumblr is just like writing your emotions out loud and like quotes or like, you know, like or like
Yeah.
little things and like and
Reposting
threads and
every day.
reposting. And I feel like that was really, I probably didn't know then, but it was really validating, and I think probably was really helpful when I was like, because I dated really early in high school.
Oh yeah, that's
My
right.
first queer
you
relationship
did.
was in high school, so I think that Tumblr, like, in a time in which I didn't feel necessarily like I could talk to anybody about what I was going through.
Right.
Tumblr was my outlet because I was home, I was in school. I didn't know if anybody else in school was queer, but seemingly everybody knew that I was. And it was like really good to have like affirming emotions, like that other people were going through the same thing. And that's also why like when I bring up like messaging Cammie, because so much of like those Tumblr famous queers was like I looked to those people to be like affirming what I was doing, but also like they were doing it ahead of me. Why not ask? And so, and I could do it like in my own introverted way, which was like DM and like really hope that someone got back to me. Like,
The ask function or whatever.
Yeah, because there certainly wasn't anybody around me physically who was going through that.
The online community forum like really changed the game, I think, for queer people to find community in their own way.
Yeah.
But also not as deep, but like Tumblr was the reason why I started getting into like the U.S. women's national team.
Yeah, actually, same.
I never played soccer, so like I played like I was 5 and it was CYO, but like I was friends with Arlo and I was friends with the girls that played on the soccer team at our high school, and they were good. They went to playoffs every year, and I never really like
Arlo's
cared.
like, yeah. And
I thought she was gonna say went to go play on in college, and that's why I was like, oh yeah, they did. Like, there's a handful of them that did. I didn't know we were good. Playoffs were gonna happen.
Yeah, but and some of them did go to play college, and like, but I never like cared about soccer outside of my immediate like high school life, right? And so then during college is when like people were like posting about Abby Wambach, and I was like, that woman's gay.
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
And then people start posting about Ali Krieger and Ashley Harris back in the day, and people were like, not to out them, but like they were like, this is my favorite couple. Like I ship them so much. Blah blah blah. That was like the beginning of like the shipping culture for me with like.
I had a big crush on Tobin Heath.
Tobin was so. I was never attracted to Tobin, but like I envied her skills like as a player.
No, I had a full-blown crush.
I was always like, is Tobin gay? Like that was where I was. I was like, is my gaydar bad? Like, is Tobin gay?
No, I wanted to be Tobin, and I had a huge crush on Ali Krieger.
I had a massive crush on Ali Krieger.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about personality types, I would want to date somebody that has Ali Krieger type like personality. She's so genuinely kind, I think, and it exudes from like her everyday stuff. Whatever, like I'm not. I'm going,
remember when we met her outside the event? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Pre-divorce stuff.
Yeah.
Did you guys like? So we all found USWNT on Tumblr. Did you guys have any other like what are now like remotely gay-ish fixations? Because I remember having like the most interest in the women's gymnastics team because they were the same age as me. Because they were all 16, 17.
Yeah. They're a little bit younger than what Arlo and I probably.
And they were like that cycle was like Nastya Lukin, Sean Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Those women
I missed out on that part.
Those women were like my age.
Speaking about like gymnastics and Tumblr, I think also the movie Stick It.
Yes.
And then, but like on Tumblr, you would have like those little clips of like TV shows and movies. It was literally just the gay clip, and then that was it.
The fan edits.
And
the ice bath changed my life.
But like like that, like I feel like that is also like what Tumblr gave. Like in addition to like community 100%. And like friendships, like one of my best friends, like I've had for over 10 years, I met on Tumblr, and she lives on the other side, on the West Coast. So it's like. Tumblr was this thing that was like uniting all of us and like low-key building community, helping us build friendships, and then like also just exposing us to the 2% of entertainment, like for like movies and TVs and stuff like that.
It's like, written also like, and I guess what's funny is that we all like queer history itself. Like, we
Yeah.
don't think about this very much, but historically, queer people, specifically lesbians, have been huge foundations for women's sports. Like, Dinah Shore was created to be like a party for a women's golf tournament, for an LPGA tournament.
That's so funny.
Because it used to be that the LPGA was the only, and still is, like, aside from maybe women's tennis, the only sport that was a professional women's sport where you could get paid. You could make a living off of being an athlete in the LPGA and
Thank you,
in
Billie Jean King.
yeah, and Dinah Shore was for golf. And then eventually I think something happened, like and my dad used to have a golf shop. So he actually knows a little bit about it. He was like, yeah, like kind of like when things started to kick off a little bit and they noticed that most of the LPGA tour following was gay women, they needed to change their image because they didn't want to be associated with gay people, which is like duh, it's rich white people are golfing. So naturally things pivoted, and then Dinah Shore became this huge lesbian get together that suddenly became unrelated to its original startup. But like, if you look at how women's sports builds a foundation, it starts with queer people. And like 100%. I think it was really funny because we all naturally fell in love with sport in a gay way on Tumblr. And it's like we were too young to know that was like history, or that like that's how queer people gather. It's like a female empowering thing, and it's like, but we just do it naturally. Like, it's just the way people get together. And it's like a thing that lets people like find each other. And I think Tumblr was just like a vessel for us to connect over the things that we're interested in, which now was like, you know, Instagram, social media.
I think that Tumblr was also just like, I think the format just was much better back then for that kind of discovery. Like, when we talk about, like, again, like queer representation in media, Tumblr's the reason why in college I rewatched The L Word in like full, because finally it was like on Netflix for a while, and then it was on Hulu, and like
I feel like I watched The L Word on Tumblr.
Right? Some people just do it that way, like you could get leaks or whatever, but like people would having discourse, right, about the media also on Tumblr helped shape like how I viewed critically some of the content that we were watching. Because like I remember when I was on Tumblr as a film student too, like I was following people that were discussing a lot about what was happening on the 100 with like the biggest queer ship, and then that's when like the kill your gays trope started becoming more established as a very important critique of queer culture media. And then like also like I was kind of super into Supercorp, which is the CW's Supergirl, and the relationship between Supergirl and Lena Luthor. That whole discourse. And like the discovery of like people were obsessed with what was that show with Tatiana Maslany? I don't know how to say her last name, but she was basically playing like herself but as clones.
Orphan Black.
Like Orphan Black was huge back then.
Yeah, that's how I started watching that show.
Right? Like
you just cling on to literally anything you can grab.
And then you could start finding queer cinema and TV.
It's how I found Skins, actually. Tumblr was how I found Skins. And Skins, when I say it, Skins, I think, like, had a huge influence on, and not in maybe the best way, but Skins did have a huge influence on my adolescence. Like, because of Skins, I really and my parents would probably be like, well, that's why. But, like, Skins gave me the, like, oh, like, I'm only gonna live my youth, like, once kind of feeling. Because I went all in on a lot of, like, experiences I had as a young adult. Because of Skins, I was like, no, I want to, like, let go.
Yeah, that's good.
But then it, like, wasn't good.
For me.
But then it wasn't good. And then I had to reel in my life.
Yeah. Because, like, I watched that, like, mostly, like, in college. And so I was like, that seems really chaotic for me. I don't want that life. I'm okay with watching it, but dear God, these decisions are not the best.
I wanted to like be in it. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I lived a little bit of it, and it was good, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like it says, like it is in Skins. It's not a great way to keep going, but
No.
like,
But I mean, those kids are young, and I feel like that's like the fun of it. It's like when you're young, you get to make those mistakes because that's the time to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
In a way, I also had a huge crush on Effie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there was a gay character in the second the second series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that relationship really, like, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get it now. And yeah, the gay couple in the second season, I don't remember their names. One of them was a twin. But that couple also shaped. And I love Skins as like an art form. I think that, like, in general, as like a creative media, I think Skins is kind of brilliant. It's why like Euphoria is the way it is also too.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
that, like like if you, it feels really dramatic, but like as a teenager, life was that intense. Like realistically, like that is how intense it feels to be a teenager, and I feel like that's really accurate.
Yeah.
And so, but Skins, like the gay couple on that show, and there was a gay character in the first season, but it was a guy, and he was kind of like figuring himself out. He was like pretty openly queer, but the women on the second series were like really figuring it out.
Yeah, I feel like the gifs and the photo sets from that queer couple, that sapphic couple, was the reason why it was all over Tumblr, on my side of Tumblr, right? As far as like, okay, the sapphics love them because of this reason or whatever. But I also remember, like, being on Tumblr also reminded me of, like, all the shows that I, like, secretly tried to watch as a kid. Like,
oh yeah,
do y'all remember South of Nowhere?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't even have Noggin.
I didn't have Noggin
like,
at all. I had to watch all of that on Tumblr.
On YouTube.
Yeah,
And Tumblr.
and on
YouTube.
YouTube.
I had to watch it on, like, clips of YouTube. Anybody that was on YouTube sharing shows illegally, God,
Oh my God,
freaking
literally,
bless them.
thank you.
Bless.
So I don't know who you are. I don't know how you got it.
It's just like, thank you.
But oh my God, thank you so much. You changed
Really
our lives.
paving the way.
Like, and I watched so many shows. I even watched like the gay clips of Grey's Anatomy
Oh, yeah.
on
Kelly
Tumblr.
Torres. Yeah.
Because I wasn't gonna be like watching Grey's Anatomy on my like living room TV when I knew there was a gay
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
Like,
Or, like, I was obsessed with just watching, Charbon clips from the L Word on YouTube. Just watching Charbon edits, because I was
Yeah.
like, speaking of my type, like Sarah Shahi on the L Word.
can I just say,
anything
Dana and Alice
Oh, that
killed
relationship was
me.
so heartbreaking.
killed me
That
because
was
that was
so
the only
sad.
relationship on L Word that I really resonated with.
Wow.
And I was like, that's it. I was
They're
like,
gonna do this to her?
I was like, that's how we're gonna end this plot.
That's terrible.
Low-key, every time I hear that song, I'm like,
I agree.
I hate it.
I agree.
But yeah,
But
so
I
thank
will
you to
say
the people on Tumblr who uploaded.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%
Big
for
thanks,
for
big thanks.
doing God's work. But like for the L Word, like I was obsessed with Charmin because I identified a lot with Shane as like just like the more masculine of the lesbians on that show. But like what they did to Carmen, like what she did to Carmen towards like the end of season 3, I was just like, I have no reason to watch this show anymore.
Nope.
yeah.
But obviously,
Yeah.
I kept watching
For the
it,
plot.
and then-
For the plot.
and then she went around and fucked it up with every other great relationship throughout that era.
I do love that show was like the inspiration for like a map that exists today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I find really crazy that chart exists. Like, I can't even imagine. And as like, we're at the East Coast is so different. Like, I mean, you guys grew up in Texas, which is like totally different, but none of us are West Coast queers.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that's like over there to be like. It's like I feel like it's also a little bit of a different queer culture than it is here on the
100%.
East
A little
Coast.
bit, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, but that map is so funny, and I like. It's funny that I feel in some way that map was probably based on a realistic map of what it was like to be a lesbian in LA.
Yeah.
And that even today it still exists.
I feel like I feel like the thought of you're separated by 6 degrees.
Yeah.
But I feel in lesbian world you're separated by 2.
Yeah.
Like we can find
you're
somebody.
lucky.
Yeah.
If we work at it, we can find someone in common.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's a lot easier if it was like friendships, but like,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Friendships, it's like 1 degree. Like,
yeah,
like
And
you
I will say though, like I do wonder what it's like. Like I haven't dated many people.
yeah.
It's just a handful, but like it's still. I feel like because the community is so small, that's why the map is so large.
Yeah.
But not that we're a part of it, but I find that like that's just so
I feel like I maybe
I have no place
might
on
just-
that map.
no, I have no place on that map either. But I fear that I hope that I'm never on that map, which is like I'm not nowhere near close to ever being on that map, but I'm just like I would like to keep it that way.
Yeah, agreed. I'll never be on that map anymore, so that's it for me.
I don't think
You're
I'll
locked
be on
in.
that
You're
map.
locked
Yeah, you are legally locked in.
Yeah, I'm now legally locked in.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks to my wife.
Shout out to marriage.
But yeah, I feel like Tumblr. It's been a long time since I've thought about those shows, and like I feel like in general though, like I think those shows helped me embrace my queerness, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Like I think I was like, ooh, these lesbians are cool, and I was like, and what's interesting though, and I've had this conversation like in private with Arlo, which is like. I didn't have the knowledge about my gender until I was much older. Until like recently. Until like 2020-ish. 2019.
Right.
Like just before COVID. But I had a wealth of information. We had information on the internet anonymously about being gay. About being a lesbian. And I think like for so long my identity was a lesbian. And like Tumblr and especially and even YouTube, because YouTube was getting popular because of Tumblr too, because we were sharing clips and links to YouTube videos that were getting like ripped from other shows. Like I think that was like a big part of, I don't know, just like the influence of me being like, lesbianism is real. It exists. You can see it in other people. Yeah. And also like that helped me like figure out that like I liked a certain type of person, or like I wanted this kind of relationship. Like it was just like you grow up watching media that's hetero.
Yeah.
And cis, and you're like, yeah, like that's cool, but it's so unrelatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think that's like kind of like just like kind of like tying it all in like full circle for us is that we see these things and like even though they weren't exactly our situation or like what we were like doing at the time, like it was still some kind of visibility, and so we were kind of able to resonate it in the ways that we like connected with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also why, what brings us to do this podcast is because even though people may not be exactly like us, the visibility and being able to share the stories and the giggles and like nonsense that we have.
We want to be a part of a gang of a gaggle of Asian masks. We want a gaggle of Asian masks.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
It's
and
just
I think
fun,
thinking back on it too, when Suin was talking about how like we were learning about like gender, you were learning about gender at like 2019, 2020. I think Arlo and I probably had a little like earlier entry into the language and like the gender identities and expressions that were available to us in the education, because we had been following like friends was going through their transition and like their identity. But also I was actually on YouTube watching at the time they were called FTM, right? Female to male trans people. I was watching YouTube videos of people talking about their identities before I went to college. I was a senior in high school going freshman to college, and I had already been starting to watch people posting videos about their transitions and their journeys with like being trans in general. Not because I at that time thought I was trans, but I was just like very curious. Obviously now I'm like, we always know. It's like, you start finding it, because like even on Tumblr, I was never like purposely looking for trans or non-binary.
No, but it piques your curiosity and
communities.
for sure.
But then you find that one YouTube video, and then you start following them other socials like Twitter, Tumblr, and then you start finding that they are following other people that they found that are also trans or non-binary. And like as a trans masculine person, like I was following other trans masculine people or like more butch women, because I was at the time looking for more masculine women, like lesbian community, and it just kind of melded into, not only is it butch lesbian communities, but it is also the trans masc lesbian community, like learning about non-binaryism and stuff like that. And I'm just like, Tumblr used to be the place. You know?
Where we
Twitter
learn that information.
Right. Tumblr is the reason why I found Girls Like Girls by Haley Kiyoko, and then like Jesus. And I was like, that's really interesting because she is Japanese American too. And so that added another level of intersectionality where I was like, oh my god, it was really,
I will say, it's really hard to find Asian representation amongst the queer community. At least it's definitely better now, but maybe 10 years ago it was...
I feel like even 5 years ago.
I felt like I was the only person. I was like, I'm like, where is everybody else?
Or there were a lot of femme, like, presenting lesbians that were Asian American, or like maybe like Chapstick. Like there were a lot of Tumblr famous Asians that were chapstick lesbians, or like the skater lesbian vibe. It was like, I'm a skater poser, like I love me some Vans, but like I'm not the skinny, lanky Asian girl that has a super long hair now, and like everybody finds really attractive. And I was just like, I can't, like, I get it, you're pretty, but like you're not the you're trying to look for yourself. On Tumblr. Exactly. Yeah.
That is very true.
I mean, hopefully, like, by putting ourselves out there, people will be able to resonate with us. And, you know, we don't get to see a lot of people that look like us. There's this person on Instagram, Miko. They do, like, art and stuff like that on Instagram, and they post stuff. And, you know, I reached out to them a lot in, like in regard to, like, surgery and possibly taking testosterone and stuff like that, and the gender journey.
I know who you're talking about now.
And so I think that's why, you know,
a lot of positive content.
Or like the Protect Trans Kids shirt.
And like Chella Man, there are like so many good Asian American queer activists out there. But there are very few of them.
And that's why, like, I think like us, like, we are in a way trying to build community for people that are like us and like future generations. And like I said, like whether people resonate with everything we're saying or just like one or two things, like I think that's really important. And in regards to like gay awakenings and stuff like that, like visibility is just so important. So but I think that's also a wrap for this week. And you know, as always, we hope that you feel seen and you laugh a lot of it and maybe a little inspired. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Samchoon Podcast. And until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and stay unapologetically you.
Woo!
All right, bye.